Hey everybody, this is Rainbow Reviews. Today we're talking about Primal Season 2, Episode 3, Coven of the Damned. I was really excited for this episode, and right off the bat, just gonna say, did not disappoint at all. Now I will say, this episode was not what I thought it was gonna be about. I thought it was gonna be like some crazy magic action stuff, but it was really a more emotional episode. It was emotional because we got to see we had some flashbacks to Spear and Fang and how they lost their families and how one of the women in the coven also lost one of her children. And this was a very sad episode. I really appreciate that they're taking the time to hit the emotional core, Because this series, if you remember from the first episode, Spear and Fang, it's a really emotionally driven show, for as gruesome as it can be. There's a lot of time spent on flashbacks, and I didn't love that at first. I didn't love that fact because there's like at least half this episode is probably dedicated to flashbacks, but that's whatever. They really do a good job of driving the emotional core home, so I can see why they had to spend so much time on the flashbacks. I just think we didn't need to spend so much time looking back at Spear and Fang's flashbacks because we've already seen that, but it's okay. It's just literally the only gripe with that episode was how they spent so much time on those flashbacks. I thought the design of the Coven leader was really, really cool. At first, when I saw it, I was like, alien? It kind of looks like of alien origins, but that might be getting a bit too supernatural for Primal, so I would not jump to conclusions just yet. Probably not. But the reason I say that is because, they were jumping through time portals and freezing time and pulling babies out of people's souls. And it was really cool. And the sound design was also really good on this Coven stuff. It was just a little weird, I guess. I said in my review of episode 1 that I can't wait for them to get supernatural. I think this is about as much supernatural as they can get. It kind of pushed the limit of how supernatural I think this show should be, because I don't want the raw and the gritty of this show lost on it a bit. But you know what? Last episode, Plague of Madness, we got all that. So I guess this episode was kind of to balance it out. So that's alright. This ending really made me tear up a bit. This is the second time I've cried at the end of an episode of Primal. And the first one was when Spear was sitting up on the cliff and he almost committed suicide. Really emotionally heavy stuff here. And this episode, the ending, spoiler alert for it, but, the Coven lady dies and she finally gets to go to heaven and reunite with her lost daughter. That made me cry. Overall, though, this is a very solid episode. I really enjoyed it, and I'm super excited for next week too. Like I said, last week, pure action. This week, pure emotion. And the teaser for the next episode was super short and super mysterious. And oh yeah, one other thing that I really liked about this episode is that they had a juxtaposition in this episode with controlling dinosaurs. Like the Coven leader was controlling a pterosaur or pterodactyl or whatever, and she was using mind control. So it's like positive and negative control over dinosaurs. And obviously, Spear and Fang's relationship is the positive one because they came together because of a similar tragedy that both happened to them. I'm really hoping we get to see more juxtapositions like this. This series has always been about a caveman and a dinosaur coming together, having to come together and be on their own to survive in the world that they live in. So I really hope that we get to explore more of that. And what I noticed about this episode, if you go back and watch the trailer for season 2, you'll notice the only two things we haven't seen are more ape men and the mosasaur. I'm really excited for the mosasaur. We do not get enough of that stuff in popular media. The most we get is like Jurassic World or something. But yeah, I'm really excited for next week. I haven't looked up what the title is for next week. It might already be released, what the title is. I'll have to look after I record this. Probably should have looked before, but it's whatever. But yeah, really excited for next week. Do not know what it's going to be about. Probably either Ape Man or Mosasaur. We'll see. So yeah, let me know let me know in the comments what you thought of this episode and if you are excited for next week. So yeah, thanks for watching.